Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my battle with anxiety and the journey that I've taken this year to help myself with my anxiety. One thing that sharing my vlogs has done for me over the past year or more is help me to process a lot of the circumstances that I've been going through and sharing my healing journey and how I'm rebuilding my life. And it has been very rewarding for me because I have learned that some of you have received encouragement from me. And so if I can help anybody, then that makes me feel like what I'm going through is worthwhile. I know that lots of people go through things similar to what I've gone through, and hopefully this gives you a little encouragement. So I want to share today a little bit about my journey with anxiety. I've always been an anxious person, but I had learned some good coping skills over the years and was doing pretty good with that. In 2016, I was in a bad car accident, and I was okay, but it could have been bad. It could have been really bad. And so I had some PTSD around that event. And so following that car accident, I started noticing anxiety attacks when I was riding in a car, especially if I wasn't the one driving. If I was a passenger, I would get very anxious, especially if we were going like on a highway or far away. I started noticing some of these little anxiety attacks, but I just thought, it's just something that triggered from that car accident. And there were isolated events. It was just when I was in the car. So to deal with that, I just made sure that I drove whenever I was going somewhere. That particular anxiety kind of subsided over the years, and I didn't really have any other issues. But with the divorce and all that I've gone through over the last year, with the health of my parents, my health, the anxiety came back, and it was bad. So I want to thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. BetterHelp is an online platform that allows you to have easier access to therapy. I know that on my anxiety journey that sometimes when you reach out to a therapist, you are in a crisis mode in that moment, and you are reaching out for help because you need it in that moment. And it could be weeks before you can be scheduled to actually see a therapist in your area. BetterHelp is on a mission to make getting therapy easier. All you have to do with BetterHelp is take a questionnaire, and you will be matched with a therapist that's the right fit for you in as little as a couple of days. I know that therapy has helped me so much to find ways to deal with my anxiety. Talking with my therapist on BetterHelp has really helped me to move forward in battling this anxiety. They guide you in dealing with the issues that you are struggling with. If you are struggling and think that you could benefit from a therapy session, click the link down in the description box below or go to betterhelp.com/allthingsmandy to receive 10% off your first month of therapy. I have been doing therapy now for over a year, and I have been using BetterHelp here in the last few months, and it has been so convenient and so easy. You can go right onto the app, schedule your appointment, and everything is right there and easy to use. It has made getting help and getting therapy so much easier. And thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. And again, click the link down in the description box below or go to betterhelp.com/allthingsmandy to receive 10% off of your first month of therapy. So the anxiety just kept building over the past year as I was going through my divorce, and it really came to a head this summer. I started realizing that I was shaking all the time. whenever it came time to go somewhere, I kind of felt this panic coming on. I don't know if you followed, but a few months back in the winter, I had an episode where I went to the hospital. And what I found from that was that I just had a panic attack. I'd never had one before that severe, and it really scared me. And so from that moment on, I noticed my anxiety was continuing to worsen. And something that my therapist shared with me that I never really thought about, but it makes complete sense, is that once you have a panic attack episode like that, is that it almost aggravates your anxiety, meaning all of a sudden you have panic attacks about having a panic attack. That moment when I had that first panic attack was so scary for me, and I didn't want to feel that again, and I definitely didn't want to do it in public. And so I started feeling like when I had to go somewhere, my anxiety would rise to this level where I was shaking, I couldn't breathe, I was having heart palpitations, and I think it was me being afraid that I was going to have a panic attack. And so that's when I knew that my anxiety was getting worse. So over the summer, the anxiety continued to worsen to the point that I didn't want to leave home. And luckily I'm a teacher, so I wasn't at work. So I stayed home a lot, and I just felt safe here. And I felt like even if I had a panic attack, I was safe here. And so it became so severe that I didn't want to leave my house at all for a period of 2 to 3 weeks. And that scared me because, I have to function. I don't want to be this person that's scared to leave home. And that's when I realized that I needed help. And that's when I knew that I needed to up my therapy, and I needed to focus on the anxiety. Instead of focusing on all the feelings and emotions of all that I'd gone through, it was time to hit this anxiety head on. I remember one day when I needed to go check on my parents, and it was all I could do to step out this door, get in my car, and drive there. And by the time I got to my parents' house, I was in a full-blown panic attack. I got calmed down. I did some of the breathing exercises and things that my therapist had shared with me, and it was okay. But that was a scary moment because I realized that this was serious and I needed to take care of it as soon as possible, or I wasn't going to be able to go back to work. Since that time, I have been doing therapy. I've been using BetterHelp, and I have received lots of guidance and tools to help me work through my anxiety, and it has definitely gotten better. Learning these coping mechanisms, learning the triggers has helped me so much, and I have my therapist to thank for that. I know that this has been a chatty video, but I know that there's a lot of people out there battling anxiety, and I thought I could beat it on my own, and I needed the help from my doctor, and I needed the help from my therapist to help me work through what I was dealing with. And I feel 100% better now, and it's been a couple of months since my last panic attack. I'm not saying that everything's cured. Again, as I've said many times on my channel, healing is not a linear thing. We have ups and we have downs. And during the hurricane, there was one day that we were without power. It had been several days, and I felt that wave of anxiety hitting me really hard, but I made it through it because I used all of the techniques that I had learned through my therapy sessions. So if you are someone that is struggling or battling anxiety, just know that you're not alone. And you're not crazy. You're just going through something that's difficult. So again, if you feel like that you would benefit from a therapy session, please click the link down below. Schedule a therapy session. Once you have the tools and the knowledge of how to battle this anxiety, trust me, you're going to feel so much better, and you're going to be so happy that you did, because I am. I can't tell you enough how good I feel right now, and how I'm so glad that I am not in the same place that I was at the end of July. It has taken some work. I just want to encourage you, if you're someone that's struggling with this, that it's okay. And leave me a comment down below, and we'll get through this together. Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. And you know what? We've got this. I'll see you in a video again very soon. Bye.